Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, community leaders and police in the North London borough of Wood Green are meeting tonight to discuss the death of a man who was shot by a police marksman last Friday. Jermaine Baker was hit by a single bullet fired by an armed police officer as he sat in a car, while police were trying to deal with an alleged plot to free 2 prisoners. The officer has been suspended while an inquiry is carried out, but there are growing concerns in the area. Simeon Brown is there. Simeon.
Hello, John. Tonight in Tottenham, senior members of the police, senior members of the House of Commons, and also members of the Independent Police Complaints Commission are meeting to address the concerns of local members of the community. Now, it's important to remember that we are just 5 minutes from where Mark Duggan was shot dead. And so any shooting in this area is going to be treated with great sensitivity. Tonight's meeting has 2 purposes. One, to relay what's happening with the investigation, and the second one to provide relief for any tensions that currently exist. And it's really important for both sides that they engage in an open conversation. This is Jermaine Baker, father of 2, 28, dead from a single shot fired by an officer as part of a police operation to stop an alleged plot to free 2 men. All deaths in custody trigger an investigation by the Independent Police Complaints Commission, the IPCC. What's different is that the IPCC have taken the rare step to launch a homicide investigation. 1 officer has been suspended, but the police are still facing controversy, particularly over why the officers were not wearing body cameras.
Well, what we've been working on over the last few years is trying to get the right camera for covert officers. We've actually got body-worn video for all our people who wear uniforms, and it's proved particularly problematic. What I would want to say is obviously what a fantastic job our firearms officers do, very difficult job, and we're going to have to wait the outcome of the IPCC inquiry in this case to see what the circumstances are.
The irony is, following the shooting of Mark Duggan in 2011, the police planned to introduce body-worn cameras. So has anything changed? Stafford Scott, who was in this very spot during the protest that sparked the England riots, says yes.
In terms of the way that the local police have responded, which is part of the significant concern that we had in 2011, they've improved. They've obviously learned the lessons from 2011. They haven't waited for us to turn up at the police station to ask questions. They've actually invited us in, and invited me personally and the Reverend Nims to a gold group at Scotland Yard. So in that sense, they've been much more responsive, and they've responded to the calls that the community made in 2011.
Berkeley Gardner remembers Jermaine well as a teenager and has echoed the family's call for privacy.
They need the time to keep to themselves, organize, their issues.
Berkeley, also a member of the police advisory group, which again was set up following the riots, says the process must be given time.
But as young person, they've got their life planned before them, their family expectations. No, it's tragic, especially circumstances, and we need to, make sure that what needs to account.
Despite the sense of deja vu, there have been lessons learned from the past, which may be why in an area familiar to anti-police protest, most are waiting to hear more before calling for action.
So, Simeon, what is the mood in the meeting as it goes on?
Well, there's a huge sense of anger. Now, the organisers have been very quick to point out that this is not a battleground, but there has still been shouts from the floor. Now, the family of Jermaine Baker are not believed to be inside. Earlier, when I finally got hold of his sister, she said very briefly that this was too difficult a time to speak. Now, although there has also been praise for the police and also the IPCC for acting very quickly in this matter, there are also questions about their operation that are unanswered. And did a man really need to die? Now, an officer has been suspended, and this is only the beginning of a long journey in an area that has seen so many of these stories.
Simeon Brown in Walthamstow, and I do apologise for some technical problems that existed on the line there.
And an update now on that report we just broadcast from Wood Green. In the last few minutes, the Independent Police Complaints Commission has said that a firearms officer has been arrested as part of an investigation into the fatal shooting of Jermaine Baker.
I've been getting away with it all.